We live.
Nice. Good night. Good night. Good night again. Everyone from Wallet United. Well, we have Nico and we have Callum, the fire marshal inside. Reams definitely will be touching in a bit later. And we want to review the game today, the hard fought victory against Fulham. To me, again we show that we resilient. We show the resilience. We show the ability to come from behind again. As Callum have it earlier the wheel. If you check the caption that we put up on Facebook, I put Pogba the wheel. Because the last few games I think Pogba has been kind of toting us in an attacking sense. He could have even scored on the weekend against Liverpool. I think he kind of atoned for that today. And 3 points in the bag, most important. And as Callum said earlier, the wheel and the wheels continue to roll and we continue to move forward. Callum, good night. And there we go. Let me get your thoughts on the team sheet and let me take it from there.
Well, good night, Man U Nation and the world and the whole of the Premiership, because now they had to pay attention to us because everyone looking up at us, no matter what they say, whatever opinion they have. And we still have a lot of haters, but as we always say at United, your love does make you stronger, but your hate make you unstoppable. And years of hate we taking, so we're going through what in terms of the team and the overall progress to this point, we can definitely say that we are seeing progress in the way the team is playing, the determination. It isn't smooth and silky as we would like because we have been spoiled by the great Manchester United teams under the great immortalized Alex Ferguson. So sometimes being a bit pragmatic, all of us love champion football, so to speak. The great Barcelona teams with Pep, the great Manchester United teams with Alex Ferguson, the great Chelsea teams with even Jose. So maybe we had to take a couple of steps back and, recognize that the team we have right now are still making history. Let's put it that way. They are still building their legacies as players. But we have a pretty okay team, after all this said and done. Each one of our players are hallmarks as stalwarts of the national team, well, except for Fred, of course. Venezuela ain't playing no football right now. But outside that, the team going
good night. Good night, Mr. Bakaran. Thanks for coming in.
Well, but now we'll get into that as we go the program go. But so right now, all the other wheel. Definitely all the other wheel.
Yeah, man. Yeah, today when you line up for me, well, for me in terms of the midfield, that was the midfield I would have liked for the Liverpool game, but I think I'd make a mistake there. Because in my mind, after seeing the Burnley performance with, let me say, the Matic and the Pogba, the defensive midfield role, I could have played there, but maybe with our Fred, that's with the energy, just as it was today, right? For the ability to win back the ball, but we still would have had the technical quality with Pogba in the team, right? So that midfield for me would have been the ideal for Liverpool, but as I can guess to myself on that one, right? Otherwise, Rashford getting a rest was good. You know what I mean? That was important.
Definitely. I even thought Bruno would rest today.
Nah, boy, you got your rest with Bruno today, boy. Catching form, boy.
Form and rest. Because look at it. This is something I would have mentioned before. Yeah? Quite clearly, Oli has a plan. And when we play teams, we expect to dominate the midfield. We play to one defensive midfield. He goes through whether Fred, Matic, or McTominay. According to, I don't know what his selection choices. How he makes a decision, if it's form in training or he's looking at a combination of what the that the sports medicine specialists will tell them who's overloaded and so on and so forth. But definitely when we have the quote unquote big games or the teams, we definitely expect to be dominated in midfield by a possession we play two defensive midfielders, and that is 9 out of 10 times that is Fred and Maxos.
Yeah.
And mainly quite clearly is because we won their movement and their tackling ability, and that is not Matic anymore. So Matic is more for to have a little guidance in the defensive midfield to even add extra attacking. So I must admit I thought we would have tried on Ivan Beek today and given this guy Fred Bruno Ares. Sorry, okay. Bruno Ares, but I definitely was expecting today for Rashford to sit out to this one today. He really needed a rest.
You predicted that one?
Yes, definitely. I know about it.
Okay. I think that was a surprise for me. In terms of Rashford not being in the team, it's a surprise because I think that he has been one of our go-to players for goals, and
Mhm.
especially how we play on the counter. His pace is so important to
Well,
compete.
today we knew there wasn't going to be much counter. Today was a perfect game for Cavani, and I told you that's how we got Cavani and Greenwood.
Okay. Cavani Greenwood, basically, so Cavani Greenwood Van der Beek, right?
Yeah,
Marshall
yeah, yeah.
would have been in the mix. Marshall would
Yeah,
have
Marshall definitely started
been
it,
right.
but more and more we see where Marshall has to really check himself because if he goes through the season like this, at the end of the season, we're going to be forced to look for a striker. We no matter what I keep saying, yes, I'm not being negative and I'm all in with Manchester United. But unless our strikers can get their stuff together, because today we were guilty of not playing away the game. And we know seeing at the end of all these close games at the end, these teams get a little lucky and because of good defending, luck, the goalkeeper, so on and so forth, we surviving. But really and truly, what the big teams does do, like a Manchester City, for example, they put you away, you know? Sometimes you may watch a game in Manchester City and then you would notice that, hold on, the game wasn't that bad, but then when you check the score, it's 4-0 because
Right.
they're strikers when they get the chances, and we have to admit we had a lot of chances in front of the goal
Yeah,
today.
that's the chances.
Cavani keeper made a good save. Marshall was guilty a lot, even down to Maguire. A couple of
Right.
headers listen, at that level. I always
Yeah.
remember one of my coaches, Kit Lucroy, would always make this statement to us. At this level,
Right.
we have minor league, school football, so on and so forth at a certain level, and this is the top level. This is supposed to be the greatest league in the world, the most competitive, definitely. Our strikers need to be putting those goals away. As is that no other way to cut it, no other way to it. They need to score the goals. Simple as that.
Yeah. As what I said, Marshall, I want to get into Marshall right now because Reeves not get to defend Marshall, right? So I would definitely dodge that one, right? So guys, Reeves, he looking in, but he not really in, right? But he's still looking in. He's supposed to come in. So I'll touch on some of the comments, right? So Iron Lion, good night, man. He's saying leave it alone. His tackle was crucial for the first goal, right? Simeon, who is this Pogba fella? New signing? Yeah, clearly, yeah. Uh,
Clearly,
yeah. Really thought we would have seen Van der Beek if it was in the 70th for Bruno. Right?
definitely.
Yeah,
We know a lot of
but,
tired today.
but I guess the game was still real tight.
Yeah, that is the whole thing about it.
Yeah, the game's still real tight, and you know that Bruno could pop up with something from,
And if
from.
you notice, Bruno and all, I think you can actually see conscious of where he's playing a tough game. So in the early
Yeah.
parts of the game, he was actually holding back. You could have seen it. At
Just
the
going
end
back,
of the game,
definitely.
he had a push,
Yeah,
so that's why you couldn't take him off at that point. So he's actually aware of you trying to keep something in the tank.
exactly. And Simeon again. Marshall either need to be a better crosser or he needs to finish earlier. Reeves
Mm-hmm.
man. For every reason say I show you that say Marshall had an excellent game, right? But anyway, we ain't going down that road. Right?
No, I think we misunderstand too. It's not that people are knocking Marshall in terms of he's not playing well, and we know the potential Anthony Marshall have. Besides, he's a Marshall by birth, So
Right.
I expect more from a family man. So if seriously, we need if we are to listen. Let's look at the stats. Every single team that wins the league, they have a striker that scores 20 plus league goals. It's as simple as that. Even if you do have a striker that scores 20 plus league goals and you win the league, have at least
Right.
two strikers, so three strikers who give you 17 plus goals, 15, 16, 17, that three consistent strikers, right, who give you that. Also
Right.
that, it just simply can happen.
Okay. Yeah. So getting into the first half, Callum, you may thoughts on the
Mm-hmm.
first half, eh? We thought on the first half. Now I know a specific point in the first half, especially for the first goal I want to get into, but I give my thoughts on the first half, man.
Well, as per usual, we kind of stepping back into our old ways. We starting slow.
Right.
And Manchester United now has a record of 21 points
Right.
achieved from coming from behind. Now that's good in terms of what we will call fighting and good attitude and stuff like that. But really and truly, this is not what we want for our team. That we have to be
True.
coming from behind right through. So we can clearly see the team quote unquote wakes up after because we dominated possession, but it's what we do with the ball. Even the goal that score we saw was let me see. I think it was a free kick they got, and Lookman came running from midfield. Pogba pick him up, but pick him up late. I know when you're back to goals are different compared to running straight on. It was just a route one ball, and he finished. So this is where now I'm calling where the leaders on the field to be switched on all time. These are the things make a difference because this is where Maguire and the hair also have to be aware of what's going on and keep your team, G'd up, always looking. And I don't know what all the attitude in the dressing room is, or even the players' attitude in the dressing room is, but this is where players have to be at each other. First, we referee the game, so we know the teams that we would observe are the winning teams. Free kick happens to them immediately, somebody on top of the ball. We as referees ought to be telling him, off the ball. But that tactic. So you stop a quick restart to catch a team off guard. These simple things. And it's not the first, second, or third time. It happened against Spurs, it happened against, I think, Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Where basic, wild calls, full grown things, basic things, man. Free kick, someone on top of the ball, so on the play. That isn't so hard.
Yeah.
But we're not doing it. So we had to get ourselves stuck together. And then, as per usual, when the goal scored, we work right up. We started to take over the game. We started our attacking player link up started to get a lot better. Putting those balls in there, getting it done. Marshall again, I think at the time he was giving us what you call lip service with his jumps. Jumping the corner for speed head, but he ain't ready get in there. As per usual, Cavani put in a fantastic shift. He might, and then I also have to say it could be becoming glaring that I don't look like they're fighting him. I want the field too. Looking like they're fighting Cavani. I want the field also because that couple times I see balls are slipping. They're slipping.
Yeah.
He is not route one. You know what I mean? So, and also we saw a difference in our style of play today because we didn't have our counter. So so does make it that point to get the ball down the wing, get across the goal, down the wing across the goal, and then decided to do some more shooting. And it clear you can, and this is what I'm loving the most. I can see the plan. Once we are dominating our team in attack, get the ball into Pogba, get the ball into Bruno. If the team go tight on both of them, then what that means, it has space for our two outside wing backs to get forward. When they get forward, put it inside. Don't worry about the result, put it inside because once they start a couple of crosses, the team has to go expand again to defend them. And when the team expand them, what happens? Pogba and Bruno, and that's how we win scoring the goals. Because look at the two goals. One, a wide ball. It wasn't the best cross in the world. But the point being, once you put it inside there, it had a chance. Cavani clean up. And then in the second half, Fulham made a conscious effort to close on the wide attack. And when they close on, what happened? The spread. And what happened? Pogba, Bruno, we take the ball, boom, goal. You know, rocket science, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so before I get on to my comments on the first half, some comments. Iron Lion, those marshals only got between the goalposts.
Yeah. A family legacy, boy, family legacy.
Yeah, Peter, I don't know, but this is just me. I am seeing this team now peaking because Pogba tackling and turning himself around.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah, shows he's happy. And passes are sticking. I am disappointed with Bissaka. Plenty away passes. Even Bruno looked out of touch at first. Despite Fulham's position, they are a very good team and they looked as though they had more goals in them. Very good performance. Right? I think organization-wise on Fulham today also was very good. Yeah, and I think we underestimated Fulham. They were moving the ball well, and after the goal, we got into the game. We need to try to start our game strong.
I think, right.
Yeah, I think going behind like that will waking me up, boy. Right? Just say the Lion. They are a good team. Yeah? And Lion again, Marshall is like a chewing gum under his like he has a chewing gum under his boots. So gosh, let's save the Marshall comments for when Reeves reach now. Yeah. Again, guys, you wanna thank you for your comments. Keep it coming. I think guys were really had the show interactive, right? So let's keep your comments coming, and we continue to read them as they come. Right. So my comment that was Peter said in terms of Wan-Bissaka. Boy, Wan-Bissaka I find today in that first half, especially when the game start, he was outside bad, but he was real.
Yeah, I think some of our players in the rest, Wan-Bissaka definitely. Maguire could use a couple of games out. At least a game, one game off. Not so much Luke Shaw because himself and Tellez have been doing all the rotation. In the middle of the park, well, the defensive midfielders have definitely been rotating. And if, a matter of fact, they have been rotating the most. So they tend to look fresh. Pogba can play on there right now because he has been in the team.
For sure.
Bruno needs a rest. I don't care nobody tell me Bruno needs a game off. Our strikers, well, Cavani want to play, so you can let him play. And when you see
Right.
Rashford rested, so I think the attacking four, because our attacking four is Marshall, Greenwood, Rashford, and Cavani.
Right.
They rotate pretty well. The only place I think we need to rotate is Bruno needs a couple of games
No,
out.
maybe Maguire.
At least a game, and Maguire.
Yeah.
And Maguire isn't looking any worse to wear, but at the end of the day, look at they have an injury, so I think Maguire could have a little rest, you know.
Look at Marshall. This is the first game he had all season. First bad game he had all season. Reeves, you sure?
Oh my
Reeves, you
gosh! What's
sure?
that?
Reeves, let me go down that road because here what fresh in my mind. You see that game against PSG when he missed a open clear goal, maybe more than once, twice. That comes to that bad game, right? Yeah, Callum. So in terms of for me, Wan-Bissaka for some reason started real poor. I think them fellas, Fulham like they targeted him. You know, for some reason, like they realized, like,
Oh,
hey,
it's a simple reason why they target him. You know. I can tell you why they target him. Marshall tends to play on the right hand side with Wan-Bissaka, right?
no, Marshall is to the left. Marshall is to the
Ah,
left.
who
Greenwood,
were on the right hand side
man.
today?
Greenwood play on the right.
Greenwood.
Yeah.
Right. Point being, whoever ends up on the right hand side with Wan-Bissaka, for whatever
No
reason they
chap.
don't fall back
No
as
chap.
much. So
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka is always outnumbered. Also, the same thing happens on the other side with Shaw. Now Shaw seems to be getting a better grip of it or getting more help. I don't know what reason. Sure, with all the auto be given, sure, because I actually went online today and checked out the Manchester United speed stats to see who the fastest
Yes,
first
I
was.
saw he was high. I saw he was high.
Actually, he wasn't how the stats was recorded. Recorded the top best sprints of the season, right? So
Okay.
sometimes will be mentioned one on one. You will never believe who was recorded as running the fastest of Manchester United season, 37.3 miles, kilometers per hour. Yes. I was shocked out of my mind.
Greenwood?
Nope.
Maguire?
The Venezuelan against Everton. I was shocked out of my
Yes.
mind.
Yeah.
But the almost consistent runner is Rashford in terms of per game.
Right.
Then James and Lingard is has the second highest sprint for this season, you know, in terms of
Okay.
a one-off sprint now.
Right, right,
So
right.
remember the point at hand. I think what happens, it appears that Shaw is dealing with it better in terms of keeping the player in front of him.
Yeah.
Now, what happens that we will see the earlier games that other times because our two outside attacking players don't get back fast enough, Shaw would be outnumbered and our defense would tend to go to the left hand side. And when the ball comes over our head, when Wan-Bissaka gets sucked in under the two stoppers, and bam,
Only
that's
time.
good
Only
goal.
time.
No,
Yeah.
I see it happening every now and then. Even against Liverpool, there are 2-3 times when
Yeah.
if Manny and them were a little more sharp or just square the ball early, you could have a problem. But it's happening less and less. So that's why I'm saying I am seeing the coaching coming. Because these things, if players have habits, they go away overnight. We can actually see some talk. This has been spoken about, and some thought is going to the whole process how we prepare and how we play, and it's only offering better for the team. And we don't want to be picking until that about the running. Like you see, last 12 to 10 games, that we want to be in top form. So right now, we on top of the league with 19 games left to go, and we clearly can see we have more to do. We are playing. We are playing. How to put it, boy? Our quality is winning out right now. But we're not playing to the top of our abilities. All we all players play better than us, yeah?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so in terms of me, especially for the first goal, you know, it have a lot of players you could really blame for the first goal, the goal we conceded, right? And that goal that we conceded would have told me why Oli didn't play Pogba as a defensive midfielder against Liverpool. You know, because if I had to blame somebody, I'd have blamed Pogba. But
why?
Because Pogba is playing the defensive midfield. This is an attacking player leaving the midfield, right, and running onto your defense. So I said, some other people you can have blame. And guys out there, I would like to get your opinion on this, right? Yeah, because you can say Wan-Bissaka play him on, so I can say Wan-Bissaka was sleeping. You had Maguire, who for some reason end up under Luke Shaw, like he marking Luke Shaw.
As per usual. How many times we just talk about it?
right? And then you had Bayi, who didn't cover for Maguire because now Maguire would have pulled left under Luke Shaw and now it had this big space. Bayi wasn't marking anybody. So you could make a case to say, well, here what Bayi maybe could have come and cover that space to block that channel. But then now where the player coming from? The player coming from the midfield, running past a defensive midfielder who's supposed to be checking the runners, and Pogba leave him, let him go, and hoping or leaving him for somebody else. So to me, if I really zone into it, maybe I will put the blame to Pogba to say, hey, Pogba should at least track him. Even to say, well, all right, let Lookman feel like it has somebody running at him. But Lookman runs straight through, straight on goal, no pressure, time to lift his head up, look for one of his players, one of his teammates, saw nobody, and then hit the goal. So definitely, Pogba gotta get some stick for that. So before we move on, Karan, let me just touch on some of the comments. Right? Boris, good night. Thanks for tuning in, man. This was one game where I was saying we could rest Bruno. Right? I think Callum was saying the same thing. Iron Lion, when Masaka positioning is really poor. The centre backs need to speak to him, but the centre back need somebody to talk to them too. Right? What does Donny have to do to get a game? Boy, we are being trained to know that, boy.
Right, and I'm glad you make that point because sometimes we just be aware of what's happening on the training pitch.
Yeah. Shaw and Marshall wasn't connecting today, but Shaw had a great game. Same for Juan and Greenwood. One maybe step up in the second half a bit, but first half was real poor. Greenwood gave a shift. I think you saw the effort. But for me, Greenwood still trying a little too hard to get back. I feel a bit of pressure maybe on Greenwood because he haven't scored for a while, so maybe he taking maybe he wanna score more than he should in terms of maybe as you would have said, maybe have opportunities to late on for Cavani, right? And he decided to try his fun and shoot, which sense for that to late off, right? 2 words, Alex Tellez. I guess that would be why Shaw has improved. Right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And Lion, just today I asked you this question, right? I will say this was a good game. This one from Gregory Boris. I will say this was a good game for him, boy, which I beat Van der Beek, right? Winning games ugly, most important, right?
Yeah, for real, eh?
Yeah, there's dreams here. Why do we seem as though we just panic at the end of games all the time, right? So imagine if we actually hit this stride we want, all right? The fans, not the team. Right? I catch that one, Iron Lion, but all right. It does have the rim again. It does give team confidence to come at us. Yeah, because right through we struggle.
And that's why going to our strikers, let's put away the games where we have the opportunity.
Right. Boris again, it seems how we started the season, lack of uncertainty. Well, Pogba, CDSU, and the first point, I guess definitely you'll be going back to why Pogba would have played out on the right instead of playing a defensive midfield role. Yeah, right. Maguire got sucked out of position. Yeah, always. Blame on Masaka for not holding the line. You see, that looked. Yeah. So
listen,
let me hear your comments on this.
Football team game, man. If you're coaching that team, this is how we're going. You're going to start to look at where the primary and secondary programs are, right? So, first thing first, the ball was played in. Could we have stopped that ball from being played in? Yes.
Right.
So then we go to the midfield. So I wouldn't blame the defensive midfielder was Fred in this example, not Pogba.
Was Fred the defensive mid more or less?
We were playing 3 banks of midfielders.
Because Pogba was the biggest liar at the moment.
We played 3 banks of midfielders. We're playing with the one guy defensive midfielder in this particular formation. Then we're playing with the one who actually playing central midfield, which is Pogba. And then we play with the false number 9, who is Bruno, who has free will to do what he wants on the field.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying, from the time the free kick occurred, I would expect Bruno or Pogba to be that high up the field. Even the striker, according to what happened, to stop the ball from being played, right? So,
right.
That the closest person to get on top of the ball, right? And afterwards, this is why I turn and go straight back to the here. And who's supposed to be our leader in the back because he wears the captain banner at points in time. We're looking at Maguire to see what's going on. And then why I say Pogba, even though in open play, yes, he can make that run in the back there. But from a freak like that, and with one man, why Pogba don't make that run? He's supposed to say, man coming, and he was running onto our defense, the wing back, and or the stopper pick him up, and that'll be an easy transition of football. So, but when Pogba now is out of it, he was at a too defensive that at that moment, too deep.
Right.
And then Bruno was too high, and we left space in the middle of the park. As per usual, we were reactive as well as proactive, easy ball, and these are professional players, cool. So I blame leadership, but these things will come. So I ain't really getting all carried away and leadership. These things will come. And then also there is a price to pay for our rotation of our players and our centre back pairing, because after a while, Bali doesn't look like a on field general like a real opponent.
Right.
That's why I always say when you have a defensive pairing, you're looking for a bruiser and a ball player. And if you look at Manchester United over the championship winning team, you always had a bruiser and a player. You remember this guy Stam, but
Yes,
who used to play alongside
one of the
Stam
greatest United
was
centre-backs.
Irwin used to play alongside Stam around that 98 team, right?
Who's the player next to Stam, boy?
I think it's Irwin, isn't it?
Left
Irwin.
back. Irwin used to play left back. Irwin was the left back.
Never right.
Ronnie Johnson. I think it was Ronnie Johnson.
He used to get some game. He used to get some. It was not.
No, he was the centre back. He was the centre back. Ronnie Johnson.
Nah, he was not. He used to play, but not
from France. The coach from France. Coach in France.
Sylvestre?
No, who was coaching France? Blanc. Blanc. Yeah.
Blanc was on the 98 team.
All right.
But the point I'm trying to get at is that
Ronnie Johnson.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to get at, you always have that in a general, an on-field general.
Right.
That was so important about Roy Keane at our great 98 team, because he's the guy who would see all these things. If you look at the center, all parks with all big teams, you just have a generational player. You know what I mean? Right. Somebody could see, talking from a defensive point of view. That's why Busquets is so important to Barcelona. We all know Busquets is a quote-unquote a limited player, but what he gives to that team into the experience and organizing a team, brilliant. And that's what we had to work on. I think we have the players that could grow into that position, because with all the old talk, and Fred and McTominay are young players, and that's why you see Pogba is obviously, but that is why Pogba is enjoying playing so much with Matic. Matic makes the game easy for him because Matic is an on-field general. Because if you notice, Matic doesn't be doing any big stuff, tackling, or even what Matic do, glides across the field, plug the space, and he's where he needs to be to cut out
positioning. Positioning is.
When I really see Matic tackling.
Yeah, you had that. I really had. Let me say a couple seasons ago, I used to fight him in terms of God, Matic slow, Matic this, but I started to appreciate now what Matic brings to the team, and that positional sense, that composure, that know-how, that ability to really read and understand the game. I don't think it anybody in the team right now.
Football,
you have players in the league with that level of intelligence in terms of play that position.
In world football, we do have combative midfielders. Again, we have men who could read the game. Even the ones who destroy play like Kante. You usually see Kante in line and tackling Fabinho, Fernandinho. These fellas, they are mind you, they are good. They could tackle it, but they could tackle when they have to. But really, actually, is that on field? That is why I make Henderson so brilliant for Liverpool, because he's an on-field general. Now Pogba is. Now, our leader on the field right now is definitely Bruno. But if you notice, Pogba starting back to assert himself and returning to being the on-field general. And I think we are better off as Pogba's on-field general and allow Bruno to have to think about the team less in terms of carrying the team and then do your thing.
Right.
That's why I think we need to go.
Yeah. Let me get some comments. Simeon saying that looked planned, right? So maybe Fulham would have saw a weakness now in the in our team.
Yes, it's definitely there. Something you could see.
Yeah, maybe in their preparation and plan for that, right? Peter saying, I felt that Fulham did some research on us. They pulled our centre backs wide and have players playing out of position, but we soak up the pressure and adjusted. So we are seeing many aspects of Man United evolving in each games. Right? So I guess Peter and Simeon are more or less on each same part in terms of preparation, and so had a weakness in our team. Right? Simeon, Pogba saw what was going on and didn't have defensive instinct. The man had a good game. He isn't the only one to blame, but he saw it happening first. Maguire got led away.
Okay. Understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Right? And Lion, Maguire should be scoring those simple headers. Yeah, ooh, I find it's too easy. Free.
I agree.
The first one he got was a free header, and he put that wide. You know, you have to definitely do better with that. Right? His head too big.
John Stones putting away his own. Van Dijk, this guy for Liverpool, not Liverpool, sorry, Chelsea, Zuma, Mina from this team, Everton. These players and them are chipping in, and we're going to need all our players to chip in if you're going to win a title. You know? At the end of the season, most players have to 1 or 2 goals here and there to get us over the line. It can't be just all attacking for.
Exactly. Right, and Lion saying, as soon as they said Pogba leaving, he started playing good. Right? Maybe when market value go up, you never know. You know?
I'll listen to our post game analysis from Ole, and Ole is saying his fitness in it. He said no, Pogba is probably up to the pace of the game. Because really actually in the early part of the season we was looking at his languishing style and was going crazy to tell. Now we could actually see him, he still have a languishing style, but he stride a little faster, and then his strength is up. And his strength allows him to do the things he wants to do, like the ball come on to with a man on his back and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think there's also we got to give full praise to the conditioning stuff, because I ain't lying. Most games at the end of the game, and that's why Manchester is scoring so much late goals, because we fit than most teams there.
Yeah.
I think after Leeds, obviously, I think Manchester United, if not the fittest team, tied the fittest team in the league.
I agree. And I apologize to Reams, you know, because Reams always say, hey, we need Pogba, you know, we fight Pogba. But we fight Pogba, but we didn't know the dynamics of the whole situation, right? Where the COVID and the impact COVID had on him. And it's only after when he had that interview talking about how he felt after the recovery from COVID. He said he was tired, he was weak. He said he was struggling through games, and it took a while to really build back his fitness. And also too, you had to give the coaching staff kudos in terms of saying, here what Pogba, you're really struggling. Let me pull you out. Let me don't start you every game. Let me build you back up. And when you come back up to the fitness level, then we put you back into the team. You know, so definitely you had to give the coaching staff kudos. So that, and Reams, yes, I know we say, hey, Pogba would know, but we didn't know. We didn't have all the information to say, well,
we made that decision. We made that decision.
Exactly.
And once again, Nico, I'll always go back there. When we were refereeing and we were looking to go FIFA, we were preparing as elite athletes, right? Because our program was in line with the international standards. And you would know anytime we would, even like when we were trying to get fit, we would get injured trying to get fit, and we weren't making any contact on the field. Exactly. And then you would know if you're like example, you ran the fitness test once and pass it, and get injured shortly afterwards, and it was almost impossible to get back to that level of fitness. Mm-hmm. I think it was not on the staff, but it really takes your body and yourself and that commitment, no matter how much footballer is, to get yourself to those high levels of physical fitness. That's why people like Ronaldo and them is physical specimens. It is not easy.
Yeah, definitely easy. Guys, I just want to thank you for the comments. You know, like keep it coming. I'm not sure if you were serious tonight. You tell me you're in a meeting and you know it's taking longer than you thought. All right, but we're going good. You know, keep the comments going. Callum, you're getting to the first goal we scored. For me, I think after we went behind, Bruno woke up. Mm-hmm. You know, as you would have said, Bruno was playing kind of conservative. You know, he was conservative. Definitely. And then we went behind, and then for all of a sudden, boom! Bruno wake up. You saw the shot when he shot cannon off the frame of the goal, right?
Yes.
And then right after that was the reaction. Fred, you must get the Venezuela. Well, good. All right, the Brazilian, right? You must get the
Hey, I
Brazilian.
just want to find if it's too much, let me know, right?
For me, it's okay. Guys, you let us know. Right? Yeah. The Brazilian, right? I think the high energy, won the ball high up the field, started back the attack, and we cross again from Bruno, right? Back to back. Keeper made a error. Yes, we know, as you would know as a former goalkeeper, the conditions is to save balls when they're wet, because I know that there are a lot of rain falling in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, to me, I really rate that keeper. Ariola, I find a real decent keeper.
No, he made an outstanding top draw save from Bruno.
Yeah. Yeah, Bruno and Cavani second half also. The header from Cavani second half. That was an excellent save also.
What I like the most about Cavani, if the goals
Uh-huh.
Cavani scored, none of our strikers scored those type of goals. Those in
Yeah,
and around, those clean up the
exactly.
garbage goals. And if our other strikers learn to be that connected in front of goal, like Rashford, especially, and Marshall, their
Yeah.
career would take off in this such a sphere if they could do what Cavani do. And why I target them, Cavani can't do what they are doing. Because
Right.
pace is natural pace. That is a gift.
Yeah.
And that power and that type of physical football,
Mm.
Cavani can't train himself in that. That is just it is what it is. But
Yeah.
they now can train and learn that predatory instinct.
You feel so, boy? I feel like,
Yes,
as
it's
I
something you can
say,
learn.
I feel like more of an instinct, boy. I don't feel like I could teach,
Um, no, I disagree. Here, this is
boy.
why I disagree with it. As you know, I dabble also as a coach.
Uh-huh.
First instincts. For me, the moment you see a ball going into the goal, whether a cross or a shot, you must put in the back of your mind there's a chance as a rebound to start making it. That's something you can train for. Like
Yeah.
how I training such a while you're shooting, and then you put the guy slide on his stomach, and every time a ball shoot, you spring up. And
Yeah.
anything, any garbage, you learn to finish it. After a while, it comes second nature. You can work on it.
Right.
Now, speed is just so much you can do. You can get stronger, you can get fitter, but you can get faster, at least much faster.
Right.
That natural power Rashford has. That is something Cavani can develop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even Marshall, he has a sort of mercurial like style where he just goes past striker defenders at points in time. Those are gifts I consider them.
Yeah.
But I think the both of them they wouldn't be as prolific as Cavani is in and around the 60-yard box there, but they can improve
Yeah.
their
We
output.
can
And
improve.
if you are a professional and you're scoring 12 goals per season, and you work on that predatory instinct and that fun up, and you get 3 more, 12 and 15 is too big. It's a big difference in goal return per season. That 3 goals could be, and especially in big games, that 3 goals could be the difference between a title and or not. And that's why we miss them, because we know in our big games, Cavani is not going to be start. No, at least wouldn't feature as much as Rashford is the go-to man. And Martial, that's what we're looking at this point in time. So they should be looking to improve them.
I think Cavani. I think definitely Cavani.
He gets in there though.
No, I think he the book has only number one in that position right now. Well, I think it's rotating, but I think. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that, because I guess for Liverpool, who we would say would have been a big game for us, he didn't start that game. So I guess Marshall's still there, but I think you really holding Cavani in high regard.
You know what? I actually thought, as I mentioned, I actually thought Juan Mata Saturday.
Okay. All right. Let me get some comments. Right, Peter, what you all think about Amad Diallo and Pelestri? If you all seen them, I think Diallo is ready for that right hand side. Definitely, I saw Pelestri. I think he definitely has some work to do. I saw him a few times in the under-23s. Diallo, I honestly haven't seen him in a competitive game, even at the under-23 level. Yeah, I think they played it yesterday, but I didn't get time to see it. But
as I mentioned, I know the under-23, the women's team, and the men's team, we all on top of the league.
No, the under-18s, not the under-23s. The
under-18s, sorry, the under-18s, the women's team, and who won Sunday going with the women's team and Chelsea? I know we were supposed to put Chelsea on top of the table battle.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Anybody know? Message us and let us know who won between our women's team, the ladies' team, sorry, and Chelsea on Sunday.
Right. Iron Lion, it's easier to get unfit than to get fit. Yes, that's
true that.
Yeah. Lion again, Fred made the tackle and had a 1-2 with Bruno for the cross. Also the first goal. Yeah, definitely. He had a big hand in that goal. Cavani scoring those goals because he's a natural number 9, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Peter Cavani is going to convert Greenwood into a monster because Greenwood, as young as he is, has pace, touch, power, both feet. All he needs is to watch Cavani, how he moves and he gets away from, and how he gets away from defenders, right? Um, Simeon, them fellas need to learn to pass the ball to wide open Cavani after their
Yeah,
six,
that's true. The fight them at war.
yeah, after their 6 dribbles, right? Lion, Callum, you have to have that instinct. That's something you can't develop. That's something you can't develop. Rashford is a natural winger, which Avakasema over to me, Rashford, he ain't no there into a winger, into that because he's a, to me he could be a number 9 or a winger, but to me he's not a natural winger because he don't cross the ball as a winger, right? But they say like there's uh, what do you call it?
A wide attacking player.
A wide attacking player, a wide forward player, right? Right. Say Rashid a natural winger and Marshall is a wide forward, right? So wide forward, yes. I don't think they have it in them, right? Simeon saying Diallo looks small, skillful but small, right? So maybe he could develop similar like to how a Rashford developed. Because I know Rashford was small when he came into the team.
Yeah, that's our working injury, man.
Yes, and Rashford at Manchester United, and so he had to pin out, and Diallo had to pin out too. Right, so yeah, Diallo looks small, skillful, small, but I think he could definitely develop into maybe something similar to, because I think he has similar structure to Rashford, so maybe he could develop into
Ashford was taller all the time because the Diallo seems to be a short guy. But we play goals, you know. I have full faith in our backroom staff. They know what they're doing. One thing I always have faith in Manchester United to do it.
right. And
You know what? One comment on Rashford I want to remind you. I heard this comment before and I really do believe it. Rashford would always be the scorer of great goals, but never a great goal scorer. If you be a great goal scorer, you have to have predatory instinct, as simple as that. And that's why I keep saying, and someone that Iron Lion, sorry, saying about that is something that they're born with, have to develop. But what I'm saying, if these are the guys we're going to be going with, that the get it done. And we are leave too many. I think we must see probably create more chances in the league in the CS. So I'm not being biased here. I think we are creating most chances, or at least our return rate. Well, all right, let me put it this way. Our return rate in terms of goals scored per chances, I think probably one of the lowest in the league. We are real showing.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Right, so guys, so that was more or less the first half. That was the first half. In terms of the second half, I think we dominated possession. Right. He was playing the counter now because here why at least they see in 1 point instead of none. So they try to hold out for the 1 point and then hit on the counter and hope for the best. And then also they had a bit of history on their side in terms that they never lost a game, right? When going in front under their current coach, which is Scott Parker. So I think maybe they had a bit.
Records are made to be broken, boy.
Of course, right? So they had that in the back of their mind, right? Say, well, all right, guys, we just normally hold it from here. You know, so here what let we conserve, let we preserve what we have, hit on the counter. I think we had Lukman who was in real good form today. Right? We also had Loftus-Cheek who had Fred Sampson all over the place. Yeah, Loftus-Cheek had Fred Sampson all over the place. So I think that we say we have some firepower going forward. We have Kamara.
Say that again. What Loftus-Cheek was doing?
Have Fred falling all over the place.
Listen, once you see, I'll always go. It's that quality is what we're missing, and once Fred meet quality players, they're going to go past him. You saw in the Liverpool game how it's who walked past on top of the area, Thiago.
Right.
Like the man wasn't there. I say, hey, what's going?
You know, but the fake, what and he gone.
I tell you, so listen, this is the kindest thing I can say about Fred. At this point in time, Fred is our go-to defensive midfielder, and in fairness, the guy he is really putting a good shift in terms of his willingness and energy. But I'm going to maintain, I cannot see Fred as a solution for us to win a league. If we win with him, well, then I'll be glad to be proven wrong. But I don't think we could win a league until we have a 20-goal a season striker, and we have a proper defensive midfielder, and we probably need to look at changing one or maybe two of our wing backs to really get some more traction. Like right now, I thought I would go for Highland from the Bishop Dorfman, hands
Okay.
down, spend money.
Okay. Haaland. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't actually sell them for nothing cheap. Like example, I wouldn't take Sancho because I keep asking question, why you gonna need Sancho?
Right.
But
Yeah.
so there you go.
Yeah. So Peter saying, well, I think he's saying Diallo taller than James, and Lion saying Fred was trying to body Loftus cheek. You ain't see the size the Fred. Yeah. Yeah. So into the second half again, Callum was that moment, boy. That moment where you saw Pogba take down that ball, right? And it's the takedown alone, eh? It starts from the takedown, eh? And I think his
And this is
confidence,
why I'm talking about he's getting stronger and fitter. So these things he could do it now.
yeah, I think his confidence shoot up with that touch when he take down the ball, eh? Because that ball came from high. I think Bruno, somebody passed it over, it came from high. And Pogba take it on with one touch. And take it on the touch with a move. So you cannot touch and then you had a chuck. It's touch and move one time. And I think with that confidence, play it on the left foot and then bang, back at the
And
net. I think for
in,
me that was a beautiful goal,
and
Colin.
his and in his postman interview, he said because the commented the reporter was asking if he happy now. One thing he said, when I win, I'm happy. When I'm lose, I'm
Right,
not. He say I'm
right.
happy right now. Keep me winning, I'll be happy. And it's confident goes with that. And he's you see the difference in how he plays. And you notice he's scoring goals now.
Yeah.
He's signed up for contribute. And this is what we want for now. Mind you, how to put this? I am glad that Bruno is scoring all the goals he's scoring, but I'm saying it's a doomed project. Anytime you're central midfielder, you're the top goal scorer in your team, eh?
Exactly.
That could work for a short tournament like a World Cup or something like that, even a European Cup. But even a Champions League, I might still give you a little small stretch.
Right.
But you can't win a league, definitely a league when your top goal scorer is not winning one or two of your strikers.
Exactly.
Because it shows you where the team side not so on Bruno now, but the lovely thing about Bruno now is Pogba. If you run down Bruno, Pogba will poison you. So that Pogba is
And that's what we came for. I definitely what we came for. That's what we needed. We needed a foil to Bruno. Bruno cannot do it by himself. It is impossible for Bruno to win all the games for United by himself. He needed somebody. He needed a Robin to a Batman. You know what I mean? You need that. And I think that's what we get now. And we see we getting the results definitely because of that.
Our next game is who? Because we
Liverpool in the FA Cup.
No. I just them come to the league.
Yeah, I too, but Reams were FA Cup, you know what I mean? So
We can say what you want, yes? Listen, Manchester Nation, United Nation, we are top league at the end of the first round, no matter what they do. We are City still to play. So they could go on top, but the point at the end of 19 games, we're on top of the league. Congratulations, guys. And I don't know where I am right now because we had to play City still and City still have to play Liverpool and so on and so forth.
Right.
We need to just continue doing what we're doing. Concentrate on our jobs and don't worry about the rest.
Yeah, I'm playing Sheffield United in the league next. You know?
Where that game playing, boy?
On the table. That game is on the 27th.
Where?
Home.
And this is what I worried about. You know, we have more home games in the second round than we are in first round. We have about 10. No, we have about 12 home games in the second round.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a lot. You know, we realize we play a lot of games on the road this first rounds.
Yeah.
We have 12 to 13 home games, and I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy because probably I don't know what about Old Trafford that invites him on us.
Yeah. 17 games on the road unbeaten now. Well done. Right, so Iron Lion saying Pogba not getting bounced off the ball easily like early in the season. Right? Yes, fitness conditioning. Right? We can win the league once we keep getting goals from midfield. But we need the forwards. We need somebody in that forward line to strike up. And as Reeves was saying, if we are top the league now with the likes of Rashford, Greenwood, and Marshall not firing, imagine if these let me say
exactly
one or two of these players had a fire, then definitely it will be in the mix.
If you second round goes like this, Rashford scores 6 goals, Cavani scores 6, Marshall scores 6, and Greenwood scores 4, we win the league. in the second round we're talking about.
You're right. You're
And
right.
we were really comfortable because that is from our attacking four. That is
Right.
six threes at 18 and four 22 goals. And you know
Yeah.
Bruno and Pogba got the thing I want Masaka here and
Exactly.
there Van der Bleek, you
Oh,
know.
you're going real thing there, boy. And,
No what I'm saying. But you say second round because we had 19 more games. All these players had to play the partner, everybody. And Daniel James, all these guys chicken and goal every now and then.
yeah, yeah.
So you
Yeah,
go.
I think we more or less touch on it. You know, I think we touched on the whole game there. I think we had a real good review. We got some real nice comments inside.
Alright.
Uh, yeah, we got some real nice comments, and we wanna appreciate the comments. You know, guys, continue to share it and like the comment. I want to send a shout out from Modern United to Justin. You know, I think yesterday was his birthday, so happy birthday, Justin.
I feel Sean Justin.
Yeah, from All in All United. Continue to follow Justin. Continue to share the word. Callum, any closing thoughts?
I am pleased. Why I'm pleased because of a couple of points. One, I am seeing where the team was and I'm seeing improvement. And
Yeah.
I'm not bent out of shape, but the fact we are fighting to win games here, that shows also we have the fighting spirit as well, and we have the strongest fighting spirit in the league right now.
Right.
And we haven't peaked too early. So I am hoping that the next 7 games or so that we get the results, we grind them up, but you see that running last 12, that's when I was hitting our highest notes. And then we have to play City and Liverpool in the last like 6 games or something. So the league
Okay.
will be decided there. So once we are there, they're about on our feet in our own hand while playing City and Liverpool. If we want league, we can be afraid to, and we playing them what we go in the Anfield for Liverpool coming to us
Yes.
and we go into Etihad. I know we don't afraid to go to Etihad and do where to
Of
do.
course, we afraid them at all. We afraid them at all.
So you go.
Yeah. For me, I think being back at the top of the table, I think you're starting to feel the pressure though. You know, I find you're starting to feel the pressure in the games. You see it even in the City game today, you're seeing where City wanted it so bad. You're seeing where the pressure levels went up. And I guess even for us too, you know, even for the teams who fighting, even Leicester, the Leicester game, you're seeing where the intensity now, because in the second half, more or less, we see when the downhill at the league here now. But again, to see us going back up on top of the table, it's showing that here what we are forced to reckon with. You're walking over United just like that. I think the draw against and the win against and the win today, I think really would have put us in a real good stead going forward. And we just continue to capitalize, continue to build confidence, and I think we are in a real good position to challenge, really challenge, and maybe even come out on the top of the end of the season, right?
Because
Guys,
the only 2 games this season I saw we dominated was Spurs definitely and Arsenal. Even though Arsenal beat us 1-0, Arsenal dominated us out. But keep an eye on Arsenal, they're on the upswing right now, eh?
the upswing, but we worry about them. Right now they're going to a bad patch. So we worry about them.
So Cousin Marshall continue doing what you're doing, Cousin Marshall. Fred, if still have any that's what I concern, no way could change my mind on that. And Reem, the way I do my brother, I hope you go get successful in meeting Man U Nation out, you know.
Yeah. All right, guys. So good night again. I think we well represented without games today. And I guess, well, from next review, we definitely will be back in. All right, guys. Thanks again. Good night.
Good night, man.